will make you smile. Clips.
Right, motherfucker, how you did?
Where the fun never ends. We'll dive into topics, make new best friends. So grab a seat, get ready to go. On the Clips Podcast Show, let's enjoy the flow. Ain't nobody messing with my mind. We'll discuss the latest trends and news. Laugh and debate, leave you feeling amused. Ooh, yeah. Tim, the man is your host. Keep that energy high, we're introducing stories that will touch the sky. Let's talk. Let's talk.
Mr. Davis, you're in the band. Let's go.
To the Clips, the place to be, but no topic is too controversial. You'll see. Join the man Tim, let's talk for a while. On the Clips Podcast Show, will make you smile. Clips. Welcome to the Clips, where the fun never ends. We'll dive into topics, make new best friends. So grab a seat, get ready to go. On the Clips Podcast Show, let's enjoy the flow. Ain't nobody messing with my mind. We'll discuss the...
No, I was getting into that. The music. Oh,
You
I was
was
still.
swimming. I see
I was
you.
swimming. Monique, do y'all do the swim move down there? Cause y'all right next to the ocean. Do y'all do the swim dance down there?
We ain't near no damn ocean. I'm 3.5 hours
Y'all
away
near
from the
the
ocean.
what's that? That's
Monique,
the
you
Atlantic.
echoing.
Y'all near the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah. What's happening? How y'all doing out there? Clips Podcast. Like, subscribe, share. We got a good show for y'all tonight. We got Mr. D. Davis in the house. We got Jazz Mine. We got Mo to the Neek. And we don't know where Mr. Smoke is at. Maybe he'll give us a grand appearance or something. And we'll get him on in here. I don't know what Mr. Davis doing.
He was
Smoke ain't
buffering.
came back since we said he ain't had no order.
That's what you got to get him, Monique. You got to
Get him some
forget-
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, forget buying him a PlayStation. Get this nigga some Wi-Fi.
Man, my phone always rings. Hey, first of all, I'm important. People call me, then I click back. I don't hear nothing. I'm talking about, you know.
He got
My
that
man.
Metro PCS PlayStation 5 stuff over there.
See, there you go, starting that shit now. And then when I start, That's
Control
all right.
yourself, Mr. Davis.
I'm trying. You see my phone.
Yeah, I mean, I know you that important, and people gonna be calling you, but you know how they go.
Go ahead.
The
Yeah.
man would only. Well, we ain't gonna say that.
Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we got a good show tonight, y'all. I'm gonna get y'all opinions on stuff, because y'all are the best opinionators it is on the internet. Y'all three, include Smoke and even JT. If you out there, you hear us, JT. We wishing you well. Hopefully, you can come back soon. And,
Yes.
be back.
Yes, I need a little help. I need a little help.
Yeah, he gonna need a lot of help because
I don't know if JT gonna be much help, but
yeah, I was about to say I don't know.
see, y'all asked me not to cuss, man. But see, y'all throwing them shots. JT, we wish you well. Come on back home, man.
Don't worry about it. I'm just getting this up, getting this first thing smoking.
Y'all, I can't make this up. There is a tax bill in
All right, we're gonna get it started.
it's y'all fault Smoke ain't here. I'm gonna just go ahead and put it out there.
You gonna put it out there and say it's our fault?
It's y'all fault.
Why would it be the man's fault?
Smoke ain't been out here since y'all said he ain't had no order.
Ooh, I ain't say that.
I ain't say it.
Somebody I know said that. I ain't say it.
Play the video.
And I don't even know him to say nothing.
Play the video.
He talking about, I don't even know him to say that. All right, let's get it going. Hold on, let me get it to the part I wanted at. Oh, they're right on the line. Here we go.
SNAP, more colloquially referred to as food stamp, stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, and it provides monthly funds to buy for groceries. And it has been the largest anti-hunger program in America, helping over 41 million people in 2022 alone. But just as Kevin Samuels alluded to a few years ago, winter is coming because certain SNAP benefits are being cut off and women are pissed. Which benefits, you say? Well, let's find out. Without further ado,
Trump is changing the dependent age from 18 to 7. So I just need to know in August, are we sending them back to school or are we sending them to work? Because if the dependent age is now 7, you trying to say they dependent. If I'm not mistaken, back in the day, they used to work at that age, right? So is he trying to tell us that they need to go back to work? Because I don't think Trump know that these kids ain't regular kids. These kids will flip out if they ain't got they tablets. Now, is we putting them in IT? Is we teaching them kids how to code? They might like that. They might like that. We're going to have to figure out them some jobs because they ain't going to do regular jobs. They barely listen to them teachers. Like, these employers is about to catch hell. They going to be babysitters. And don't put me at the same company as my kids. I don't want to work with them. I already got to be with them at home.
before I let this conclude, this TikTok alone has 3 million views. It was posted like a day ago. And I find it so interesting that often the least intelligent of us tend to have their social media posts bubble up to the top instead of people actually explaining in reality what is happening. Now you got a cohort of people that would just listen to things like this, like Trump is trying to send our children to work without understanding what is actually happening. We're going to get into what is actually happening. The only thing that she is accurate on here is
this particular bill, Trump, that got passed while everybody was barbecuing Sunday night at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's called the Big Beautiful Bill. When you get time, look it up and read it.
Here is what's written on the screen, that he's changing the dependent age from 18 to 7. Well, let's talk about it after she's done with her rant.
Like, y'all done already took them out of school, so now y'all want them to work, and then don't put them as the same company as me. Like, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. Like, and how much is you paying these kids? Because if you my 7-year-old he needs to get paid well. But he can't work for pennies. So that ain't gonna work either. Then you can't even disrespect that kids, because now they gotta leave their job to go to this job. They're gonna probably, oh my Lord, Trump ain't thinking this out. He ain't thinking this out clearly. And then
the irony.
big families is definitely gonna get the most, like, to hit the most. Like, all, like, them single parents, they got like 8, 9, 10 kids. They gonna feel it the most.
All right, so first things first. So lowering the age from 18 to 7 doesn't mean that 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds are going to be working. However, what it does mean is that a parent can no longer depend on food stamps when the child is from 8 to 18 years old. Mind you, this only is targeting single-parent households, not two-parent households, which is absolutely unbelievable. Matter of fact, let's give us a round of applause for that right here, because for the first time, there is something being introduced that incentivizes families and incentivizes people to stay together. And I am very happy to see legislation being introduced that supports two-parent households as opposed to what we've previously seen, which is governments giving a leg up to those that have chosen to accept the paycheck from the government as opposed to prioritize family and relationship, or to prioritize a man in their life. The single mother rate in the country is crazy. The black single mother rate is astronomically insane. So what this is attempting to do is to target single mothers into an anti-finesse system, because many of these single mothers do actually have men in their lives, a live-in boyfriend, but they choose not to report it. Also, what this does is this de-incentivizes low-income earning single mothers from creating more mouths to feed unto which they cannot pay for. What is that, you say? Because many of them are just going to allow these men to keep on going raw daddy when they have support from the government up to the child is 18 years old. But now they may have to make fundamental condom decisions or fundamental abstinent decisions because the government is saying, hey, listen, we got it up to 7 years old, but after that, them food stamps ain't coming your way. By the time that the child is 8 years old, you should have figured it out already. Because shit, having more children should not mean that you're able to refuse working. So what the young lady said over here is accurate. The mothers with 9, 10 children, yeah, it's gonna impact them the most. But why are they having that many children when they can't afford it?
I have been on welfare for 14 years. 14 years. Since I got pregnant with my oldest, I have been getting food stamps and cash assistance. Just recently, I was put on Section 8. I've been collecting disability for me and my kids now for almost 3 years. They are now trying to tell me to receive cash benefits, to be eligible for cash every month, okay? I get $2,200 a month in cash. That's not food stamps. That's cash.
Damn.
That I have to work a minimum of 20 hours a week to be eligible for the cash. That's the whole point. I refuse to work. I don't want to work. I want the taxpayers to support me and my 6 kids. That's the whole point of being on welfare.
I beg your pardon?
Remember I said a second ago an anti-finesse system? This is what I was talking about.
Kids. That's the whole point of being on welfare, is sitting on your ass and collecting money for literally doing nothing. So now they want to take my cash benefits and force me to go get a job? Are you kidding me? No. No. If you take my cash away, that's taking income, which means you're going to have to give me more in food stamps. I already get over $4,000 a month in food stamps. What are you going to bump it up to?
That's crazy.
$6,000 a month in
She's
food stamps?
rich.
I don't need that much food. I need cash. This is bullshit. This is not fair.
These are your anti-job, anti-career assassins. They don't want to work. They don't. They want you to pay for their existence. Now, what's so crazy is that, within my life, I work so hard.
But like,
you guys are seeing why the family building, which is consistent that we can count. I'm not saying that, but this is why. Most people they hear something, they look at a tagline based off of a biased news organization that wants them to think something or to put fear into them. And they don't do anything else outside of that research. And they will post things on their public profiles that make them look like clowns and morons to the tune of millions of views, literally.
getting out of kindergarten, going to elementary school at 7. Why the f would I be working? Why would the f would I send my child to work at 7 years old? And then secondly, what kind of jobs can a 7-year-old do? Like, seriously, like, I understand. I don't understand, actually. So quickly, tell me, what kind of job can a 7-year-old do?
Her question actually reminds me of that show. Remember, are you smarter than a 5th grader? And oftentimes them 5th graders would win against the adults. I bet you a 5th grader would win against her any day of the week. Even take a look at the comment section. But if you left a 7-year-old home alone, CPS will be at your damn door. This comment has 6,000 likes, right? Here we go. Child labor and marriage laws are probably next. Politicians are losing their slippery slopes.
We're gonna get into all his stuff, but we're gonna look at them.
And perhaps more importantly, I hope you find it in you to really take the negative impact of this entire bill into consideration and vote no. And with that, Madam Chair, I yield back.
Now, the Congresswoman painted a vivid picture of punishing people for their situations, but let's look at yet another anecdotal example of the reality.
As a mom who has 2 kids and 1 on the way in August, I use food stamps. I use SNAP benefits. What does this bill passing mean for me and my kids? Because I am unemployed. I have 2 kids with no one. I cannot get a job because I don't have anyone to watch them. So I solely live off these food stamps to be able to feed my kids. What does this mean for the families who are solely dependent on these benefits?
It means that you may have to get a job to support the children that you are creating. What do you mean? Think about how cushy and fluffy and privileged a society and as entitled as someone that receives benefits from the government of that society to not know what that means. Job, go get one, go build skills. What have you been doing this entire time? Have you given up hope? You ain't give up hope in the ability to create, kids. That is for sure. This is what I'm referring to as the finesse in the system. Ma'am, you got 2 kids now, you have 1 on the way, and no man in the household surviving completely on the government. You cannot make this shit up. This is absolutely absurd. Listen.
My YouTube family, I got a question for you. What makes a man? What makes a man? Is it his good looks? Is it how tall he is? Is it his money? What about his house? How much he makes or the car he drives? Is that what makes a man? You know what I'm saying? If I asked you these questions, what would your answer be, my YouTube family? What would your answer be? Here's another one. Who cares? Who cares about what black man goes through? Who cares if a black man has eaten breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Who cares if the black man is getting some rest? Who cares if the black man is sick or if he's ill and needs to go to the hospital? Who cares? Who cares when the black man is in pain? Who cares when the black man is asking for help? Why is it there's nobody there to give him a helping hand? If a black man is not making a lot of money, quote unquote, he's broke, he's dusty, he's not worth anybody's time. Nobody listens to him and nobody gives a damn what happens to that man. You understand what I'm saying? I ask these questions because whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, a lot of black people are saying we're declining in numbers and numbers are decreasing. You understand what I'm saying? We're not getting married anymore. We're not procreating like we used to do in the 60s, 50s, 40s, and on down. No more. Even to the point now, things has gotten so bad that men are not even approaching women anymore. Let that sink in. Men are no longer approaching women. Men are deciding to stay single and be by themselves. Now, why did I ask her this question? Because a black man's last hope was who? His woman. If he cannot count on society, if he cannot count on anybody else outside, he can at least come home and count on his woman. But feminism, social media has warped the mind of modern women to where now all they see is dollar sign. Dollar sign. That's all they see. And if you're not providing for them, if you're not paying their bills, if you're not giving them money to go on vacation, if you're not giving them money to do their nails, their hair, shopping, to flowers on IG, you are not a man. They don't consider you a man. They consider you a brokey. My brothers and sisters, that is the time we are living under. That is the days we are living in right now. And today, we're going to talk about it. Let's go. Hello. Welcome to Reactions and Reviews. I'm your humble host, Izzy. Sisters, I think it's like about 4 minutes long. I'm going to let it play without any interruption. Watch it all the way through so you can understand exactly what I will be saying to close it out. Okay? Let's go.
One of the greatest crimes perpetuated against black men specifically is the level to which their humanity and their hearts have been devalued, diminished, and dehumanized, and that they have become doing machines. The greatest value a black man has, in many instances, is what he can do for somebody, right, and how he can do it, and how much he can do it, and how much he earns doing it. I mean, I hear it and see it among young people in the relationships, you know, oh, you're going to get my nails done, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do that. Right. You know, they've been demeaned and devalued and dehearted, right, to the point where they value themselves based on what they can do. Fix it, get it, make it happen. And no place have I seen in our world does anybody tell black men how to be. how to be with themselves, how to be true to themselves, how to be with their feelings, how to be with their heart, you know, and it's criminal. So what happens is then they begin to do the things that are expected of them, and that's how they're evaluated. And then if they can't do that anymore, whether it's the job or pay the mortgage or whatever, then they're just cast off like socks in the corner.
Right.
And it happens to Black women also, but usually because of the children in our care, we're given a little more leeway. But the way it's done for Black men, and as I shared with you, one of the things my teacher taught me was one of the greatest kryptonites for man, a man in general, Black men specifically, is the feeling, the belief, the treatment that he is somehow inadequate. And when you devalue a man, he's gonna feel inadequate. When you dehumanize him, when you deheart him, so then where does he go with that?
Right.
He's inadequate, and he doesn't serve a purpose because he can't do what you need him to do to make you feel better about yourself.
What's the purpose? What's the point?
What's the point?
If you made it this far, hit that like button and leave a comment to
So do you want to talk about politics or that man stuff?
I have to thank every man that left me.
One short.
I would have never been alone this long. and really got to know myself. I feel that as young women, we're devoting ourselves to this programming of love. And the truth is, you got to love everything, not the poor guy that you that you decided to hook up with.
Yeah. You can't make this shit up, people. You cannot make this shit up.
When she said, as a young woman, in her head, she's still young. But shout out to Kevin Samuels because she's proven him right. Shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. That lack of accountability. I have to thank every guy who left me because I wouldn't be alone this long. As if it's a good thing. Take accountability and identify why all those men left you. She probably hard to, obviously hard to deal with. That amount of lack of accountability she has is beyond me, y'all. It's beyond me. I'm talking about as young women, we shouldn't settle down with one. Love, we should give all the love. So you mean for tell me that you can't love everything else and a man at the same time? How incapable of multitasking are you? But again, young ladies, hear me out. If you don't want to get to this age, I'll put her at around 86. Let's be generous and say 86. She probably way younger than that in life. Her lack of accountability took a toll on her. But let's just say she's in her 80s. If you don't want this to be you, change your narrative. Start looking within. This is an example of someone who never looked within. Never stopped to say, why is it that I can't keep a man? It can't be all these men are just trash. What is it about me? Why? Even if 99.999% of men are trash, I claim I'm a good woman. I claim that I'm finding myself. I claim that I am a queen and a goddess. So why can't I find the 0.1%? You notice that? Every woman claims that they're a good woman. And if water seeps at its own level and like attracts like, if you're such a good woman, why you can't attract a good man? And why you don't look in the mirror and ask yourself, what is it about me why I can't attract a good man? But no, they just want to come on and paint, no matter how old they are, they will come on and paint the narrative that men are the problem and they're just this perfect woman, sugar and spice and everything nice. Like, stop.
Stop it. Get some help.
I feel like I would just have to be so interested in someone to even entertain the idea of disrupting that. Let me know if I'm alone here because I don't think I am.
Well, duh. Hopefully you're very interested in someone that you're dating to make it share in your dating life at 72.
Everybody's asking, you're dating somebody new now, and what happened to Jerry, and why are you using filters, and what? Why are you wearing that? Dress your age. I mean, thank goodness I have TikTok to tell me how I should live my life and how I should look and what I should do, because otherwise I wouldn't know. Anyway, bless your hearts. So when I started on TikTok playing with this fun, silly app, it was kind of during COVID times or 2020. And
Pause. Imagine getting on the app and seeing your grandmother. Because at 72, she have some grown kind grandkids. She probably have great grands by now. Imagine getting on TikTok, seeing your grandmother sharing stories about Jerry. Oh my God.
I guess it was 2021 when I met Jerry. And he's a sweetheart. Like I said, he's 86 years old. And it's complicated because he has a lot of family and existing conditions in his life where we can't really be together.
It's still complicated at 72. You hear the 20-year-old saying, oh, it's complicated. You hear the 30-year-old saying complicated, 40, 50, 60, and still the 70-year-olds talking about, oh, it's complicated.
Permanently. So we've become more like companions and really, really good friends. And I love him to pieces and he loves me to pieces. And we do things about once or twice a week, okay? And he wants me to get along with your life. He always says that. You need to move on with your life and meet somebody closer to your age and have a future. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm dating a little bit. I try and match and I just don't have very good luck on that. I don't like anybody. It's just the way I am. I guess I'm kind of set in my ways. I've never been independent before because I was married for a long time and no kids. So I don't know. It's kind of fun being independent and I like it. So anyway, so I'm dating this new guy. I really like him. Very sweet, but he's so unattached mentally. I don't know, we've been out so many times and we're in Austin and he booked separate rooms. So I don't know if he has issues, intimacy issues, and I don't mean sexually, I mean or physically or whatever. I think he can't really connect. And
That's
I don't
wild.
want to
That's wild. Because as a man, after a certain age, you will.
Well. Oh, man. A lot of meat on this bone. Let's get to a lot of meat on this here. We'll start with the 80-year-old still dating now.
First off, is we doing politics or relationship? Because you play that game.
We're going to start off with, why is 80-year-olds still dating out here, man? But my first question is, do you feel sorry for people that's in their 40s to 80 years old still saying it's complicated in relationships? At 80 years old, we still get the same subjects. It's complicated at 72.
We're all closer to pushing 80 than we is.
Well, I'm saying I ain't dating. I'm saying for those who are dating, is it complicated out here? Is it complicated?
Mr. Davis?
First of all, I don't have them problems, player. Hey, let's keep it all the way 100. I'm talking about the problem that I had with that video, first of all, is that young lady is really ripping the old people.
Yeah,
now, at the end of the day, when you
said they shouldn't be on here, man.
But when you got individuals that have different personalities, even when you got the same personalities, all of it's gonna be complicated. If you got somebody that's gonna respond back, when you listen to the lady that's doing the commentating, she basically saying, okay, women should surrender. Women should just go ahead on and do A, B, and C and forget their values, forget what they stand for.
That ain't what
at the end, that is what she's saying, because at the end of the day, that's all she's saying. Bottom line, all she's saying is this: if they saying it's complicated in their 20s, they still saying in their 40s, they still saying in their 70s. At the end of the day, it's not that it's complicated. People in this society right now have their own opinions, bro. As soon as you put this camera in front of somebody and go out and everybody looking at somebody else, you're looking at a following society. And every time you get a group of people that sit there and say, okay, if this ain't working, then I'm gonna go with this. At 80 years old, if you ain't already got nobody, you should be all right being by your damn self. And that's just being real.
Because you got to think about it. Everybody seeks companionship, no matter what age they are. But
that's where you go. No,
hold on. I heard you. Now you got to hear me. I'm saying it don't matter if you 13 years old to 80. companionship, that's the DNA that's in you. You seek companionship. You can say all you want to that you all right and you good by yourself and I like my ways, but you still by nature seek companionship.
But that ain't what he said.
No, I ain't talking about that.
That's right.
In general.
But I'm gonna show you something different. Watch this. This way you see. This way you ain't paying attention.
Then I'm gonna let you have the flow. Hold on. I'm saying from that age 0 to 80, you got to start looking at yourself at some point. Something is wrong with you.
I'm not taking that away from what that lady's saying. But at the end of the day, the second video, it showed you that you got men that'd rather be by their damn self than be bothered with some companion. Does not mean be in a relationship. A companion means having somebody to hang out with. Just like that lady said, her and that dude is friends. They kick it together. They hang out together. That's what a companion is. A companion ain't nobody that you in no relationship with. That's somebody you kick it with, you're hanging with. That's your close buddy. That's your friend. But at the end of the day, you came in here by yourself. You gonna go by yourself. They don't put two people in the casket. They put you in there. So wait. So watch this. You can have friends, just like you say. You got a big ass family. It's people around. At the end of the day, that man can't be doing too much kissing. He can't be doing too much humping. He can't be doing none of that but hugging. He can get that from his grandchild. He can get that from people. Man, that man ain't got no problems. That man, and at the end of the day, got some bread. He got some bread. He got money.
From 0 to 80, what you think? Do you feel sorry for people from 0 to 80? They're still talking about it's complicated.
Damn.
We going to 0?
Yeah, I just went all the way back to 0. No, from 40 to
80. Boy.
But let's go 30 to 80. Do you feel sorry for people that still talking? It's so complicated out here. What you got, Monique? Just give us your opinion.
I'm sorry, I missed what? I'm sorry.
I said, do you feel sorry for people that's from 30 to 80 years old and still talking about it's complicated out here in the dating scene? They got 30 years on the earth to 80. Let's say this lady was 80 years old, still talking about it's complicated. The lady over here 72, talking about it's complicated. What you think?
No.
Do you feel sorry for the people or what?
No, it's hard out here for a pimp. I don't feel sorry. It's the dating world is a cesspool of trash, sewage water, dog doodle. It's a lot of
everything.
Say that one more time. Wait, what was the last thing you said?
Dog doodle. It's a lot.
No, not you, baby. No, not you, baby. Hold on, you said everything. What was the last thing you mama?
I said shrimp meats and everything.
Oh my God!
I thought you said short man. Oh yeah, you know what I took it, but I thought you said short men.
Yeah,
we can live with the short.
Mr. Davis, no short men ain't got short meat. It's the ones that's sitting out here.
Oh baby, baby, you ain't got. Hey, first of all, you ain't got to tell me. You definitely don't have to tell me.
Give me a 5 foot. I'll take a 5 foot 5 feet 8. Don't give me no 6 feet above. Because when God added height, he took it away. I don't want it.
Oh my goodness.
They don't have no stroke.
They'll let you down every time, baby.
Be disappointed that I messed up my numbers messing with you. Through the whole town.
You done changed the whole conversation with this, man. You better get us back.
Yeah, you done went left again. So, hey, look, my second question is, why do you think she was thanking all the men she's been with for leaving her? Why do you think she was thanking? She said, I thank all the men for leaving me. I'm like, she said she thanked all the men. Why do you think she said that?
Because they didn't act. Because as you get older, or as you become closer and one with yourself, you realize that you're settling for a lot of BS. And as you get that alone time, you be like, I'm so glad David left me or me and David broke up because, baby, this bullet ain't never felt so good. Okay.
I mean, do you think she said that because it taught her something? You think it taught her something?
It taught her that it's a lot of cess out here. It's a lot of trash.
What you think, Jazz? What you think?
You be settling.
Damn.
I felt like, because she started crying in the video, I felt like it was a trauma response at first.
Right.
But also, she probably, as at a point, like Monique said, at a point in her life where she's understanding who she is, where she wants to be, where she needed to be in those relationships. Also, too, she could have been a side chick for her whole 80 years of her life. You never know. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it could be a lot of things, but it sounded like it was a trauma response. And she started to cry. Like, you can tell it hurt her feelings a little bit. You can tell it did. But also, sometimes it just is better to be by yourself, child.
Hey, Mr. Davis, what you got on this, man? What you think what you think? Why you think she said she playing all these?
Now, this is the part of the video I thought the young. Now, first of all, I keep saying I'm trying to think for a woman, but this is the part of the video that I thought the young lady had right on the spot. It's the accountability part. You understand what I'm saying? When you sit there and start saying what everybody else did, I get what they saying. After this experience, you realize you grow from your experience, and you realize that person being in your life showed you a part of who you are. But at the end of the day, she never admitted that. She never said that. She just said she's glad that such and such left her and A, B, and C. And just like Dad say, she might have been a sad woman and shit. She figured she wasn't gonna move up the slot. So it was time to run the slate. But at the end of the day, it's just accountability, bro.
Just accountability?
She didn't want to take accountability for her part. Yeah, and like you say, hopefully she grew from it in the sense to know what she didn't want
Can I ask
and
a
what she
question,
had she
Mr.
didn't need.
Davis? But what if
You sure can.
let's not use, this is what drives me crazy. Let's not use what she said. But what if she did take accountability within herself, but didn't want to let you know?
Well, what you want me to use then? Wait a minute. What you want me to use if I can't use what she said? Then no, you creating a question. You're not asking one.
I'm asking
because the evidence is what she said. No, the evidence is what she said. But if you're telling me we can't use what she said, now I got to use what you're saying. So that's creating a question. So give me your question.
That was the question.
Jazz, did I tell you your hair look cute? What was your question?
You know what? Go to the next question, Tim.
Go to the next question.
I just want to know what the question was. Okay, yeah. I don't know what the question was.
Go ahead,
but what I'm saying is we're giving this narrative as she is not taking accountability. She could have taken accountability, but at this point in her life, she can be embarrassed with being asked said question, and that was her response.
Jazz, if you 80 years old on the internet talking about your relationships and how you feel about a man, you don't get no more embarrassing than that. At the end of the day, if you go put all of that out there, you might as well go all the way through with it, Jazz. She ain't scared to be embarrassed. She ain't scared to be embarrassed, Jazz. She was crying. And you got one more time. It's cute. We gave it to you all night. It's cute. Leave it alone. And then you had to put it in the ponytail.
My hair is not wrapped because we own this show. If
you got to put in ponytail, T. In the minute, Jazz, you got to put in ponytail. Okay, you got one more time to fling it. But in a minute, it's going in some clips or something.
Uh-oh.
You know. What's the next?
Yeah, like you said, Mr.
Where we at, Doc?
Like you said,
I appreciate it.
You 80 years old, getting on the internet, you pretty much spilling the beans on yourself. I mean, golly, girl, 80, and you still talking about dating. So how do you think, and I'm just asking y'all, at 80 years old, because ain't none of us 80, but what you think that life is like at 80 trying to date?
Nursing home, Belle.
I'm hoping to get there. Well, I don't want to date. I want to already be settled.
He said, I'm hoping to get there.
But I'm hoping to get there.
He's trying to be a player forever.
Yeah, because no. What I'm saying, no, I'm not even saying being single forever, but I'm saying I'm hoping to get to 80. Some of these kids ain't even getting to 19, 20, 30 years old. At the end of the day, they got bigger fish to fry. You got to at least get to 50, at least get to 60 or 70 before we even talk about what we're gonna do at 80. That's all I'm saying. They finna cut food stamps.
80 that's probably like.
They about to cut food stamps. The quality of life ain't gonna be the same. Oh man, come on, man. You listening to that craziness. At the end of the day, just like the ladies say, you attract what you attract. You understand what I'm saying? Now, at the end of the day, if you decide to say this is what I like, and you got to understand who you are. You got to understand what value you take to the dating game. And at the end of the day, as a man, at 80, definitely, you better have some retirement money. You're not listening, brother. If you ain't got no bread,
because I know it's gonna be
you don't even need to be dating.
But I know it's gonna be different between a man at 80 versus a woman at 80. Jan, so let me ask you, if you could
most
jump up some years into the
there
80s,
you go.
What you think that date life would be like at 80? At 80 years as a woman?
Same way it is now. Rough.
Listen here, rough, STDs, itchy legs, dry skin. Yes, the nursing home is a cesspool for STDs. It's a high STD
I
rate
know
in
that's
old
right.
people.
Monique, where you at? We need you now, Monique.
That's when them Jazz. That's when them YNs come into play. They like a cougar with retirement money. I'm just
They coming to the nursing home. Not the
Yeah,
nursing home.
Google it. It's right in nursing home. It's high STD rate
Dog.
amongst old people. Yes,
Dog,
it is,
right.
baby. Yes, it is. That's what I think.
And you ain't
I
paying
ain't
attention.
gonna
They
be
cutting
80.
food stamps. They cutting food stamps.
Oh no,
That's
we
what-
don't get to that,
to
Mr.
be
Davis.
ugly
We don't
around
get
this
to
I'm just saying, you talking about what the YNs ain't gonna be doing. They cutting food stamps, brother. It's finna get hard.
That y'all got it. Hey, y'all said the nursing home, they going wild like that up in there.
Going book wild.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm
They got pills, baby. They got pills.
Y'all lead me to
They
my
got
next
medication
question.
for it. They can make some things happen.
We're gonna get to this big, beautiful bill, which is the Trump bill that they passed at 1 o'clock in the morning. While y'all was barbecuing and chilling with y'all family, they was passing this bill through.
I was
y'all
asleep at 1 o'clock in the
y'all
morning.
chilling on the grill. So let me ask y'all this.
Thank you. So whoever barbecuing at 1 o'clock in the morning, Sam.
No, I said they was passing at 1 o'clock in the
Why
morning.
you keep saying
I
at
said,
1
while
o'clock
y'all
in the
was
morning, people barbecue? Should
No, I'm
nobody
saying,
be
while y'all was
barbecuing at 1
sleep at
o'clock?
all them ribs in your side of your rib, they was passing that through there.
Appreciate it.
So my first question is, how do you feel about the Trump's new bill cut and snap? And depending on the age.
Let me go first.
Okay, from 18 to 7.
Let me go first.
And like your Section 8 and things of that nature. How do y'all feel about that stuff?
Hallelujah.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Before you hold on, Jazz, hold on. Hold on, Jazz, wait a minute, hold on. And before you get that out, he did that. This was called some kind of like budget bill, but he attached his bill onto this, which was the big, because
it don't even matter if he
hold on, woman. Let me explain this for the people, though, Jazz. Hold on, let me explain for the people, because you got the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the the judicial branch. So if he can eliminate one of those branches, plus he being the president, I think Mr. Davis, you can help me here. He's like considered the legislative or executive branch in a sense. So if you get rid of the legislative branch, you don't even need the Supreme Court. He can overrule anything that they try to shut him down. But go ahead, Jazz. What you got?
You asked about the benefits being taken.
Yeah, I'm just saying, because he attached that bill in there. He snuck that on there. But go ahead.
I'm gonna say this because I said this a couple weeks ago. I feel like there should be a limited amount of time where someone should be able to receive any type of assistance. You should be able to have your life in order and together with the plan and the benefits that they provide you. 7 years is enough time to get yourself together, to get a career. It's enough time to get a stable, to get structure in your household. It is enough time. If I can see these are old people, but we are talking about women, girls, whomever having children. When it deals with children, I feel like you have enough time. The government gives multiple programs for you to elevate yourself. You get multiple. You can it's housing networks. You can get a home.
You think they should stop them at 8?
Yes, because you have enough ample time. 7 years is a lot of time.
I got 5 kids, Jan, and you about to cut all my kids off from this child credit. I need that money. I got 5 kids. You about to cut me off?
Well, I gotta go to work too. Mr. Davis gotta go to work. Monique gotta go to work. You gotta go cut
Davis? What you think about this?
I'm tired of working.
Now you sound like the lady over here.
First of all, I think the narrative is First of all,
I'm just not understanding. Like,
I think the narrative is terrible. That I think the narrative is terrible that they want to do this to keep families together.
Oh, I don't like
because at the end of the day, that ain't gonna keep them together. That's gonna make it worse. Because if they ain't got money to feed the kid, they ain't gonna do nothing but argue more.
You don't think that's gonna make people?
Not at all.
No.
That ain't why. That's not the reason why we depend on each other at all. As a matter of fact, that's the reason you watched the last video, just like you said last week. That's the reason why we all divide. Because they put stipulations in somebody's household. At the end of the day, let me tell you something. I don't believe in women, and I believe when they put light-skinned women on there to say she got got all these kids and she don't want to work and she get $4,000 a month. I think that's just for people to look at how silly that shit sound coming out of somebody's mouth. But at the end of the day, you do have some people that are slowly functioning like that. So with that being said, at the end of the day, no, we don't. None of us like paying taxes, like people sitting on their rear ends, taking our money and eating like that. But one more time, the homeless rate is already high. That is not going to convince people to go out and get a job. I don't care what you say, because one more time, although the jobs may be out there, they still ain't paying nothing. Dog, when you look at the inflation rate being almost 7, still at 6%.
They say it's going.
You look at them give you a 4% raise, you're still in. Yeah, but you get a 4% raise, you're still in debt.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, all that does is create more chaos, man.
That's true.
And that's all they want. See, it does not affect the people that make $100,000, that make $150,000. We don't eat.
Sure.
You understand what I'm saying? It's the people below us that can't eat.
So Monique, let me ask you this: How you feel about
you gotta know how to. At the end of the day, they light skinned. You gotta know how to budget.
No. Monique, your mic off. Monique, how you feel about this bill? Were they cutting the SNAP and the tax credit? From your kids, like, cause you got kids and they young under these brackets. You and Jazz, y'all got kids under this.
My kids is 10 and 14.
No, that's what it was all the way to 18 years old though, Jazz.
And I don't receive stamps.
Oh well, that's true too.
Or dependent nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old are your kids are under over the ages too, ain't they, Monique?
Yeah, but even if they weren't, I don't qualify for the assistance. So the whole conversation stopped applying to me when they started talking about SNAP benefits. I don't get SNAP benefits.
Right.
I'm getting tired of being told I make too much money. So I wish he would have put something in that bill that said, if you work at least 40 hours and you make less than $100,000 a year,
right,
you can get some EBT, because it might be months where my commission ain't getting me to that bracket.
Well, it's the child tax credit that's in there from 8 to 18. No longer, they cutting it off at 8 years old. So it's a child tax credit.
Is it a child tax credit, or is it dependence? Being able to be dependent for SNAP benefits? You're saying two different things.
No, I'm saying they're both on there. They're both on there. The child tax credit thing is on there. I think that's on there as well. So
but I didn't see. When I just read the bill, I didn't see where the child tax credit was.
No, I didn't see.
Yeah, I thought that was part of it.
No,
I saw he increased the amount that you can claim on a child tax credit.
Right.
But it doesn't say anything about you can't claim your children after 7 on your tax.
The 8 to 8. I mean, I'm cutting it off at 8 years old. Is that the SNAP or the child?
That's SNAP benefits. That has nothing to do with. That's for.
So they increased the. Okay, they did.
Yeah, they increased the child tax credit for people who work.
SNAP off
a little bit more money.
All right, I had it backwards. All right, let me rewrite that. All right. So what are you doing? But Lola.
Sorry, y'all. That's my dog. Okay, but to kind of go in this a little bit. Right. I remember I talked about this last week when it comes to you being a certain age, and I feel like if they stop providing people with free income and free food and Medicaid and all that, it'll actually slow down the rate of which you are out here just slinging it and begging it. Because if you know that at a certain age you have to be fully responsible, you're gonna stop. You're not gonna keep going unless you keep making babies. Yeah, I mean, here I
am. That's a lie.
I'm not Mr. Davis. I'm reclaiming my time before you even get started. There are a lot of women who are wise enough to have 1 or 2 or 3 kids and say to themselves, okay, that's enough. I can't have any more because it's unfair to them and I cannot afford it. But when you go into these neighborhoods, though they are not all of them are given resources and told, hey, you can get this type of job. Let me dress you up to show you how to conduct an interview. YouTube University been around for a lot of years now. We can't even discount YouTube University no more. YouTube teach you how to put on clothes, how to interview, what to do. Everybody got a smartphone. It's how you apply yourself. It's what you want in life. If you know you tired of seeing yourself struggle, you're going to do something about it. Now, they have taken your comfortability away. You got two choices. You either going to sink or you're going to swim.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. What you about to say, Mr. Davis, before I move on to the next question?
First of all of that.
I need for you to put your phone on the charger. Put your phone on the charger.
We can't hear you. I think your headphone died.
Yeah, something died on me. Well, I'll let him come back, but we'll move on to the next question. So who most likely do you think this bill is going to affect in the future? Is it a particular race of people? Is it a particular people?
No, it's
what about
income.
now?
It's not about race, it's income. And just like that white lady, sorry, Mr. David, give me 1 second. That white lady that y'all saw, that lady's a nurse. She trolls for a living on social media to get extra income. Okay. But that same one talking about they cut off my EBT, they cut off my food stamps. If you do a little research, you can go to any state's website to see their Social Security maximum benefits. She ain't getting that. It's a bait thing to get you stirred up because that's how she makes extra money on social media. Yeah. But as far as who it's gonna affect, it's gonna affect low income earners who or people who aren't earning anything. So, all right, Mr. Davis, you can go.
You got your mic on.
You on mute.
You got your mic on mute.
Mr. Davis, I gotta teach you how to work technology. We're gonna do a screen show one day.
So can you?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Me now?
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, it all comes down to the simple fact that it a household period. It is not going to stop them from having sex because they love other.
Your mic going in and out.
They're not listening.
What you got? Both earpieces in? Yeah, that's what it's probably going in and out.
That's the earpieces.
Yeah, the earpieces.
Yeah, don't you see them both?
Yeah, but you're going in and out.
Yeah, in and out.
Now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. At the end of the day, it's not going to stop. Well, it ain't the earpiece did. It's not going to stop people from having sex, man. People lack of education is where you get all these babies from.
So you're saying it's a lack of knowledge, is what you're saying.
And that's why you keep making the same mistake.
Okay. So how would
am I right or wrong?
Yeah. Well, with him, go ahead. Go ahead, Monique. Your mic on. You got your mic.
Monique, you on mute. You just talking away.
I said you got your mic.
So Davis, how many times did you have to do 2 + 2 before you finally got 4?
That category.
Huh?
At the end of the day, if everybody thought, listen, all we got to do is do this. We got smartphone mothers or mothers with 1 or 2 kids opposed to mothers with multiple kids. Opposed to mothers with multiple kids. So at the end of the day, y'all kill me with the small sample size that think people get it. If people got it, we wouldn't have all these that got 5 and 6.
It has nothing to do with people not getting it. We y'all, this word accountability, we love this word, right? We love it, right? We throw accountability in there all the time. At some point it clicks. At some point, I mean, and this isn't even trying to be funny, but Mr. Davis, being a person who works with these type of people, I work at a job where you have the potential to earn an X amount of income. But I still work with women who say, no, I'm going to call out for 2 weeks out of the month because I don't want my benefits to go up. My housing right now is only $150. So when it's time for me to go recertify, I'm going to take a leave of absence so that I don't have to report that I'm making the same amount of money as you. You know, a lot of people know what they're doing. I used to work in Food Lion where people would literally only work 20 hours.
And then, no, don't get me wrong. And I understand that completely. But at the end of the day, just because people understand how to hustle the system, that's a small piece compared to the mental health generations that we breeded of kids. They really just don't know. Lack of education. I credit.
You're going out. We can't hear you.
We already know. We know a lot of people that know how to hustle the system.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's lack of education, then who do we blame for the lack of education? Do we blame the educators, or do we blame the individuals themselves? Do we blame the parents? Who do we blame?
First of all, you blame the parents.
Jazz, what was you gonna add to this?
I was gonna say, you know what? It was a joke. I'm gonna just let it be because they kind of tight.
We want to hear it.
But I met this girl on Sunday. She has 11 kids in the city of Cleveland, and she took a shot because this was her first year of her not being pregnant. And I'm telling, and I asked her. I said, "Well," and I swear my first time meeting a girl. I said, "Well, you don't pay taxes, do you?" And then they looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, they're like, "What?" I'm like, she no longer has to pay federal or income tax. She doesn't even have, all she has to do is pay for Social Security, Medicaid, all those other things that come out, but she doesn't have to pay federal or state taxes.
Why?
Once you have 8 children, 8 dependents, the government removes those taxes from you. Like, you no longer have to pay those taxes. And she looked at me and was like, "Girl, why you all in my business? I ain't had to pay. All them taxes, I get my whole check. Only thing they take out is Social Security, Medicaid, dental, whatever she's like, other benefits she's getting. And she still qualifies for SNAP benefits. She still qualifies for Medicaid and the dental. She still qualifies for all that because of how many kids she has. She has 6 by one man, 3 by another guy, and 2 by somebody else. On her baby daddy, she got the 2 by. He just shot her in January in the foot.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
What I'm saying is, they know what they doing. Like, I'm not gonna say they know what they doing, but it's just the fact of the matter is that there is a lack of accountability. There is a lack of knowledge. There's a lack of education. And in that realm, I'm going to say, I understand Mr. Davis said it's the parent's responsibility. But if the parent doesn't know and chooses to be ignorant and choose to pass that ignorance down to their children, and their children has children, and then their children has 11 children who's going to pass that same ignorance down to those 11 children, it's a cycle. So it's like, on one end, you have the education system, like Monique saying, like, you want to ask an adult to be accountable for her children. Okay, yeah, they're her children, but if she wasn't educated herself, if she isn't understanding the logic behind things, a parent to somebody who's going through these things, who is ignorant, who does have the lack of knowledge and education, they're not going to understand. They're going to continue that mindset. I'm going to use my family as an example, and I always use my family. The first thing when I first got my oldest, when I was pregnant with my first son, the first thing my mother wanted me to do was go get food stamps. The first thing. Not ask me, was that something I wanted to do? Not ask me, did I need to do that? Not knowing I had medical coverage and everything with my job. I had my son when I got pregnant when I was 20 with my oldest son. So, but you get what I'm saying? Like, it's a conditioning, right? And then my grandma, then when I tell my grandmother, I don't know if I'm keeping the baby, she's like, "Girl, keep that baby. We'll help you out. We're gonna go get you some food stamps. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that." What?
You're right. That's a
like
generational.
It's a cycle. It's like you get what I'm saying? And like you have to break that thing. And it's an understanding to where it just didn't sit right with me. The first thing you tell me, it's we're gonna go get you some of this. We're gonna get you that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I have not received any type of business since Dylan was like 3.
So let me ask you this then: how do you feel about people that's right now just sitting on their ass and collecting? I mean, how do y'all feel?
Honestly, I don't really feel any type of way. I still feel like that if I come from somebody who at 19 didn't get there, like at 20 years old, having all the things that I've been through in my life at a very young age, I do feel like they can make it. They can make a way. They can get their life in order with
So
all the options.
They get their life together and they can do
Yeah,
it.
they can. Within 7 years, you have 7 years to do that. They give you free daycare.
Yeah.
You get free daycare. If you're getting all this money in food stamps, you're receiving free daycare benefits. You can get a 24-hour daycare. You can go to school and go to work and have somebody keep your baby, get food stamps, medical. They even also the government even got a county even got a program where they give you money for a car. For transportation.
What you think, Monique? What you think?
I don't know how it is in Ohio, but I'm in agreement with Jack. Give me 1 second, y'all.
Leave that dog alone. That dog trying to talk.
Okay, so you see, she shut up, right? Okay.
You were talking dog language. That dog said, "Okay, I'm cool." You was like,
So I'm in agreement with Jazz when it comes to that. I don't know how it is in Ohio, but in North Carolina, right? The moment that you sign up for food stamps, Medicaid, or anything, you're provided with a government subsidy that allows you to go to school. You can take classes at the local community college. You can go to the social services and take classes. They offer everything from literally like all first responder jobs. They offer you free grants and everything's with that before Obama even passed that law. That was always a thing here in North Carolina. So when you ask that question, how do I feel about it? When people would much rather sit on their bums than go to work.
Yeah.
God bless you for being able to do that. But my heart hurts for you because you would much rather do that than to take the initiative to take care of yourself. You can, there's so many options out here in this day and age that there is no reason why you really should be dependent unless you're just lazy. Unless you just like the whole time I was on my leave of absence, I enjoyed sitting on that couch. But once my bank account started trickling, I went back to work dang near out of surgery. I was only out of surgery.
You got that will and drive. Everybody don't have the will and drive that y'all have.
Yeah.
Everybody don't have them.
It took a lot of
them, but some people don't. Everybody can't. They don't tap in and bring that out. So y'all go getters.
It took a lot of failing to become a go getter.
Yeah.
With my oldest son, I was not a go getter. When I was married, I was not a go getter.
So wait a minute. So you kind of answering Mr. Trump's question here. So he feel like if he pull these programs away, it'll make them go getters because what you're doing, you're making people tap into their inner survivals.
Yeah.
To make them have to go out there.
That's why I said you either got two choices. You either gonna sink or you gonna swim.
Okay.
You can sink and have your kids out here being homeless and being a bum, or you can swim and be the next CEO. Prove yourself. Like I'm all for. I'm okay with you starting out getting assistance, but are you going to stay there? You got people who've been in the project since they were 18 years old, 17 years old. They grandma in the projects, they mama in the projects, they in the projects. Now they having kids and teaching their kids to be in the projects.
Wow. So that leads me to my next question. I'm glad you said that. So how would this affect, those women who's running around saying that, with him cutting all these programs, how is it going to affect women that's running around saying they don't need a man? Because if they cut this program and these women said earlier they were saying I don't need a man.
What they got to do with anything?
I'm just saying. I'm just asking the question. I'm just asking the question. I'm saying, women been saying since 2019.
Well, you see how he followed in there. Now he's going to segue to the next part about what type of man we choose.
Do you still need a man? That's what I'm
asking. You see the segue? Tim, you can write a book. You see how he finna segue using this question to segue right into the next one about how we choose men. I'm tired.
I'm feeling like this, with him cutting this stuff, this could be detrimental to the single women that say they don't need a man.
How is that detrimental?
Because these programs, they're gonna be snapping. They're gonna be snapping a lot of this stuff from up under people.
No. Let me tell you what this is gonna do. This is gonna make women really say we don't need no man. Because you're not gonna want me no more after my benefits and my housing is gone. Because that's really what you was with me for.
Oh my God. Mr. David,
so that ain't gonna be about needing no man. You're not gonna need me no more. I'm no longer a benefit to you and your homeboys who just got out the pen. I'm no longer a benefit. me and my kids actually may be able to enjoy our house without holes in the wall and all of that going on. It's a
Mr. Davis, is you going to that house?
Change your
First of
mindset.
all,
Is you going into the house with the holes in the wall?
First of all, they got to stop telling on themselves on here, man. I'm telling y'all say too much. Yeah, damn, where all this? I ain't talking about you this week, Jazz, but I'm talking about damn, man, where all this go at? She just jumped into the fact they tired of being used. I'm talking where they go.
Listen, no.
Half the guys don't even stay no more. If the niggas coming over there with his boys using your crib one more time, Monique, you got the wrong dude.
Listen, Mr. Davis, listen.
Monique, no, there shouldn't be no holes in your walls when the guys leave, Monique.
Monique don't even date black dudes. Leave her alone.
Well, there you go. She dating punk rockers. I don't know what they do. They having parties over there.
Mr. Davis, I'm gonna bring you into my world a little bit. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna pull a Jazz. I'm gonna bring you into my world.
Here we go.
Okay.
And one of my jobs, I used to have to clean up apartments, right? When tenants and people move out, I used to work for private real estate agents and landlords. A lot of the people that I worked with dealt only with government subsidies, Section 8 housing and low and income-based housing. All the time, when I would go into these apartments to clean this up, Day-Day, Shaquan, Louisa, all of them, all the homeboys that moved in on this lady and her kids. And when I go into the property, sometimes it's so like I had to stop because it would break me down because your man and his friends got rooms, but your kids are sleeping on the floor in the closets and all of that.
First of all, babe, everybody in here is black on this call. So at the end of the day, we all have seen this. We all have seen. No, we all got cousins. Everybody. At the end of the day, I understand everything you're saying.
Don't do that.
You don't have no cousins that ever lived like that. None that's ever been in the project. You know a lot about the project. So at the end of the day, if you know all these people that's been raised in the project, all these people that grew up in so you'd have seen these situations before.
I don't say nobody.
But at the end of the day, at the time, you wasn't trying to pull them up out of there when you went on about your business at the time. Listen, all of it is systematic. All of it is learned behavior.
I got wide shoulders, but I can't carry everybody.
So therefore, you shouldn't be on here giving comments and statements on how to carry them if we can't give our legs and arms. Because at the end of the day, you don't just carry people with your shoulders. You carry them with your words. And as a matter of fact, you said it yourself. At the end of the day, these people have been trained over and over the years to be like this. So until somebody comes along and break that cycle, that's a cycle that's not going to be broken. At the end of the day, you made it out. So now instead of sitting there saying, we don't want them to have this.
I didn't make it out. I never was in.
That's a matter of opinion when you look at them people that own the $1 million houses.
I ain't never been in. I can't tell you. I've had to work all my life.
Yeah, but one more time. Right. Most definitely. We're gonna leave it alone. We're gonna leave it at that. But at the end of the day, it's systematic. Yeah, it's programmed people, just like this new, everything is programmed to have people thinking a certain way. But it's not gonna push people in the direction that they want to push them in. Because one more time, being lazy is a condition. Somebody taught them to be like that.
That's a mindset.
So somebody's going to have to teach. So just like y'all say, all these programs attached to all this government assistance stuff, these kids can't make it through junior high school. Yeah. Let alone go through a junior college, a community college, or anything like that. So at the end of the day, we always said this. I said this a long time ago. Education is not going to be important until it costs you some money. And at the end of the day, it's costing you a livelihood. They're going to be able to put these kids back in slavery, not because with chains, because of their mind.
That's all you got to do.
Because of YouTube. You sit there and say everything. We sit there all day long and sit there and talk about YouTube and these phones. This is what's attached to their hand. And the way they make money right now is through these phones. And when they cut that off, that generation is going to be lost. But when we talk about food stamps, we talk about black men in the home, A, B, and C. It's still not going to stop these people to go into work. It's still not going to stop this man from coming over there, because you got to understand, one thing about black men is we earn money with our hands. We got multiple ways of earning money. You got women that they only source, a lot of women, not one size fits all, but a lot of women like to sit behind the desk program, give orders, and do this shit. When them computers take over, you ain't gonna have nobody fixing cars, taking tires off, and doing all A, B, and C. So slow down.
Computers don't take over, Mr. Davis?
Opposed to the brain. You got AI already whooping ass. So at the end of the day, y'all better pay attention to your competition. Because men can always carry shit, they can always lift shit, pull shit, build shit. At the end of the day, women only can tell people what to do.
Well, you know what? You lead me into my next question.
That's quite misogynist, Mr. Davis, but continue.
I didn't say one size fits all. I didn't say all women. But shit, who built your house? You saw a crew of women out there building the house, or some niggas out there with their nails in the stud gun?
That's a good point. That's a good point. Hey, so this leads me to my last question, y'all. About the last video we had.
No men in my office and women sitting down at computers, but go ahead.
Yeah, at a computer, but who built the building? So once AI take over that computer and you sitting your ass at home because you don't want to hit a hammer and a nail or drill, then you have another conversation to be talking about. Ain't no jobs out there for us. So at the end of the day, this is all I'm saying. Let's help build each other.
Because a lot of y'all can't work on cars or build buildings.
Monique, just let it
Watch
go.
this.
Let it
Okay, I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah,
Because
Monique wants
I
to
just
work
read
for
the
these.
article
Hold on, Monique.
today.
Don't give him that.
Well, women have taken over that industry by pull up the information. You have more.
See,
women,
that's your problem. That's the biggest problem. You can't believe everything you read.
Now
You can't believe everything you read because every time you go in an auto mechanic shop, you see one woman and she typing that shit in while somebody in the back doing the work. So at the end of the day, you can read everything you want to read.
Because
Monique, shut up.
YouTube University show women working on stuff all the time.
I mean, you got
They do
okay.
what?
Let me say this: there is some industrial women.
One more time, it ain't no one size fits all. You're right, it is some, but when you talk about taking over,
okay, no. Let me say this: like he said, on the physical side, when you go past a construction site, you'll see a woman working the flags. The men are doing the jackhammering and basically the welding. You do have some welding women. Women are welding as well. I'm not, like he said, one size don't fit all. But the majority of the physical work is being done by men. Now I'm gonna leave it at that because here's my last question. Now that we talking about men, let me ask y'all about the black man.
I'm sick of y'all. As a black woman, I don't even want to answer the question. As
well,
a
you
woman,
matter of fact, I'm coming to you first then.
I don't even want to answer
anybody
because they say you through with us anyway, so we gonna need you to come on back. The word on the street, you through with us anyway, so come on back home. First of all, tell us why you through with us, and
Hold
then
on,
come on
Mr.
back home.
Davis. This is the last question, then we gonna get on off the air. Do anybody really care about the black man in the world? I ain't saying in America, but just in the world in general. Do anybody even really care about the black man?
Let me go with that first.
Go ahead.
I think that's sad because first of all, you have to start with caring about your damn self.
Well, look, we know that, Mr. Davis. But
now
we
you
just
don't.
saying,
No,
see,
see, no, you hold on. You hold on for a second. You hold on for a second. That's the problem. Everybody assume everybody knows some shit, but they don't. Every time
we're not talking about in their essence, though, Mr. Davis. I'm talking about. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on.
I'm gonna get to the point.
I'm saying
I am going to get to your point. That's right, because he don't want to hear the truth.
I'm just trying to tell you what I meant by what I asked.
I know what you meant. You gonna let me finish?
You can't answer it if I don't explain myself.
You already said it.
No, I didn't. I said let me explain. I'm saying
now you're gonna change it so I can fit this other narrative.
I'm not gonna change it.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's been doing.
Monique, hold up. I'm gonna give you what the video was actually explaining. It was.
I know what the video was explaining.
But can I finish saying what I'm saying? I'm saying that the video was basically saying, do anybody care about a black man in essence of giving them recognition on even just doing anything? Like
and one more time, allow me to finish
because everybody else wanted the children,
allow me to
everybody else want
allow me to
Why can't the black man be recognized for anything he does?
Allow me to finish.
Now go ahead. While you interrupt me, go ahead.
I didn't interrupt you. First of all, for you to sit there and you sound like the preacher at church. First of all, everybody get their own translation of what somebody's saying out their mouth.
I'm saying what the video said. First of all,
you telling me what you think the video said.
The video was saying that men don't get any recognition.
And I got all of that. But at the end, I got all of that. But at the end of the day, first of all, you should get recognition from yourself. You shouldn't look from everybody, from yourself. Because let me show you something. The way people treat you is the way you treat yourself. And sometimes you have to teach people how to treat you. So let me show you something.
But if you don't get recognition,
if you don't get recognition in the things you do, buddy, stop doing them.
So
that's all.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
If I don't come pick you up when you ask me to come pick you up because you didn't say thank you, I bet you next time you had to call me, what you gonna say? Thank you. See, sometimes you teach people how to appreciate you. There's so many people going around here waiting on somebody to feel sorry for themselves for them. Let me tell you something. Black men should always be proud because guess what? We still do what we want to do, say what we want to say, go where we want to go. So at the end of the day, don't sit there and say, oh, because my feelings hurt right now, then I need a shoulder to lean on. Let me tell you what we do. I ain't saying men don't cry. You don't have to cry outside. At the end of the day, you might want and you might need a strong woman by your side. But if you count on that, you're going to be like the rest of these people, losing their mind.
You don't
because
want
at the end of the day, hey, man, come on, man. That's all I got. Every woman I know in my life is strong. No,
I don't want a strong woman. I say I don't want a strong woman. I want a woman
there you go.
With pure femininity. I don't want nobody strong.
Which one? The women being strong in the mind ain't feminine?
No. I said I want a feminine woman, not a strong woman. I want
and one more. Wait. See, and that's your problem.
No, that's your problem.
That's the problem. No, that's the problem with the average black man. First of all, your woman got to be your strength anyway, especially when you can't.
Especially help me, not your strength.
Your woman, and that's your problem. You got to teach her
that's
to
your
be
problem.
Your strength, bro.
I'm giving you.
I'm trying to.
It don't say your strength. It say you help me.
First of all, it say a help mate, but
help
at the end
me.
of the
It don't say mate, brother.
At the end of the day, here you go.
Me.
Dog, you can call it what you want to call it.
I ain't call it what the Bible says.
It still means the same thing.
No, it don't. Mate, I can get a parrot for a mate.
At the end of the day, a parrot can't move. A cow
can get a dog for a mate.
Bills. A dog can't do none of those things.
Okay.
So at the end of the day,
you arguing a mute point right now.
No, I'm not.
No,
yes,
I'm not. No, that's right. No, I'm not.
A mute point in a debate.
Yeah, it is.
It's not a debate.
I'm saying to you that there is black men. You're talking about looking for validation in yourself. That is true. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about black men do want validation from their woman or their wife in what they're doing, in their marriages, in their relationship. Trust me, they want it. They tell me all the time. They don't get it. As far as you getting it on your own, that's fine. You can get that. I'm not arguing that. I'm saying, but they look for, just like women look for, validation in what they do for you. Like if they cook, clean.
So just as easy as they can tell you how they want, why they can't tell their own lady. But why they can't tell it? If they can tell you, why they can't tell her?
They can't tell her, but what I'm telling you,
can't.
that should just be a mute thing.
Order in the court. Order in the court.
I'm saying that's something that they say. They say that they don't get that validation. You're one person saying that. I'm talking about
no. All I'm speaking in general. One more time.
That's what I'm saying. So in general, they're saying
all I'm saying is if they can say that to you, why they can't say that to the person that's not giving it to them?
They are. They said it. Well, you just heard Ayana just said it. Ayana just said that they're not getting it.
One more time. You talking about that's what they want. You talking about a handful of people.
No, I ain't talking about. She does that for a living, bro.
Just she listens to motherfuckers talk about what they can't get their woman to do. First of all, half of it. But watch this. We was always taught, don't do things that you're not appreciated for. If you're doing something for the appreciation, you shouldn't be doing it at all.
No, that's not true. Go ahead,
dog. If you're doing something for gratification, dog, then you ain't doing it from the heart.
Things that you do because that's who you are.
So one more time, why should you look for validation for who you are?
Look for it. They just said that they're not getting it. I ain't say look for it.
But communicating that they're not getting it, looking for it in the same way.
No. Because that should be something that should be something that's just repetitive.
Tim,
you don't have to look for it.
Tim,
that's just something
let's all agree to disagree because in one instance, if a man is mentioning they're missing something out of their marriage or out of their situation, relationship, girlfriend, even with me and Monique, if I'm talking to Monique and I'm telling her I'm missing something out of our friendship, that means I'm missing it, and I saw it and I thought about it, and now I'm looking for it.
So men have been saying that. That's what they said. She just said men have been saying. Hold on. Wait a minute, Jazz. Wait a minute. She said men have been saying it for years and not getting it.
Okay, so you
what's
just
the problem?
said out of your mouth that they're not looking. So are they looking?
No, I'm saying that they shouldn't have to look for. That's what I said.
So
they shouldn't have to look for.
Well, let me ask you.
So what are you talking about? I said they shouldn't have to look for. Shouldn't.
Because it's Jazz.
Now go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Let Monique go. Hold on, because you talk there.
I would just like to say this, Kim, because you do this shit every goddamn time.
That's right. I gotta get you at the end. I gotta get you at the end.
I tell you every time you always starting stuff. I told y'all he was gonna.
Y'all lucky Smoke ain't here because he go up on you about that.
Let me just say this: as a not even as a black woman, as a woman, I'm tired.
You
and
tired
I know
of what?
if I could get my other women on it, if I could get the women in the world on this, about a good 87.98 would say the same thing.
Say what?
Tired.
What they tired of? What they tired of?
We tired of being blamed. We tired of being accused. We tired of being saying. We tired of hearing what black women ain't do. We tired of hearing it when your pissy ass mama ain't doing it. We tired of doing it when your nappy headed ass grandma ain't hearing it.
So you gotta stop telling on yourself. But go ahead.
That's fine, Mr. Davis. That's fine. At this point, I'm tired. I'm tired.
Motherfucker.
Every time we turn around, it's black women's fault. Black women ain't did this. Black women did that. Black women shouldn't have done this. At what point do y'all as men take that up with y'all mamas and y'all grandmas?
So what is black women doing since you saying black women ain't did this? What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing?
I ain't said nothing.
What are y'all doing?
I ain't said nothing.
Too much.
Y'all doing too much?
I ain't said. Listen.
So why we laugh?
Jazz, I was on your side. But you just threw me all the way off the rail with that.
No, Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis,
I don't even know.
Mr. Davis, hold on. This is why I'm coming at
you.
Here.
Mr. Davis, what's on here?
Mr. Davis, you new here, okay? This is why I pointed this to Tim. Mr. Davis, if you go back, I've been. This month actually made a year I've been with Tim Podcast, okay? This month made a year.
Where's JT at when I need him? Where's JT?
When I first took him up on his offer to join his podcast, I asked him, is this a woman bashing podcast?
It ain't got nothing to do with woman bashing.
Tim said, no, we talk about all everyday topics. Tim, hold on, let me explain to Mr. Davis. He said, no. We talk about all topics. We don't do that over here, Mr. Davis. Every week, Mr. Davis, that we've been on. Me and Jazz have been hearing about how black women ain't shit. Okay, understand something, Mr. Davis. I'm tired, and I'm tired. Okay, Mr.
Hold up, let Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis, don't sound like we do a woman bashing.
No. I don't believe it's a woman bash. It's a lot of shit that women do, just like Jazz said, they do it so much. You got something to talk about. At the end of the day, Jazz, I can't even. It's deep. It's deep. It's deep. Women. Jazz, women do too much. They
waiting to jump
too much.
Let me come here.
It ain't jump me nothing.
Jazz, I ain't finished yet, Jazz. Hold on, Mr. Davis.
Let me just help you understand.
Hold on, Jasmine. Give me 1 second. Let me just put it like this. After a while of hearing that we the problem, we the issue, we not doing this, we not doing that, why y'all keep talking about this help me? Why you need us as why we keep talking about help me? You can help me, but you can say that we ain't doing nothing to help the meat. Why you bothering us?
Wait. Slow your roll. You heard the man say they finna cut y'all goddamn food stamps, not ours. We gonna work. So at the end of the day, y'all gonna be looking for a helpmate. So let's slow your roll with all. Listen, I told you with your arrogance. That's the problem with the black woman. Y'all get so arrogant until you forget. One more time. A man know how to make money. A man
That's
can make
fine.
money. He's going
That's
to know how
fine.
to survive.
That's fine, Mr. Davis. But if everything that we do is an issue, why we keep somebody help me? Why black women? Why black
say
women?
Everything you do is an issue.
Why black women can't just drink water and grow our edges and be okay in peace? Why is every time we turn around, there's a topic about black women?
Well, hold on. Let me say something to that. Because you say every time we turn around, there's a topic
about how he wanted his help meet. But you ain't see 1,000 white men get on there talking about how white women.
There you go. She answered it, Mr. Davis. You hear what she just said? She said every time we talk about something, we talk about black women.
I wasn't even gonna go there. I was not gonna go there.
Listen, no, go ahead, Jazz, because they still trying to ignore the point. They trying to act like they don't.
We have to tell you. You need to think about that.
Point,
you say everybody talk about what the black woman is at. That means there's a problem with the black woman then.
And we never hear why do black women have the problem? Why don't we have black men that cause the black women to have problems? Black men cause black women to have problems, but we never hear about that.
Did you tell us to go check in with our mama? Y'all need to go check in with your daddy.
I got a daddy.
Or if your mama told you who your daddy was,
I got a daddy.
Got one. We all got one. I'm just going back on what she said. I'm going by what she said. We need to go check in with our mamas.
Y'all need to go check in with your daddy. Y'all black problems, but y'all love coming to the black women who I ain't never even met y'all.
Let me tell you why you don't talk to your mama about strip. Let me check. Wait, you just supposed to listen and shut the fuck up sometimes.
I give up.
All you gotta do is listen.
I don't even want to listen. I'm tired. I keep listening. I don't hear nothing.
Go ahead, Jazz. Go to end. Come on, take us on out of here, Jazz. Come on, what you got?
Tap.
Shut the fuck up, y'all. Y'all pissing me off. This is number one. I'm gonna play both sides and play devil's advocate real quick. On one end,
Mr. Davis said he don't like you no more now.
I don't care. On one end, Monique is right. I don't care. On one, somebody like it, they gonna pay.
She right about what? What's she right about?
Okay.
She right about what?
In our world, how we see things, right? We are blamed for a lot of the things that the black man is not receiving. I like to use myself for an example. Today, I was a therapist, a psychologist, a healer, a doctor, a lover, a helper. I was everything for one person for 3 hours that kept me on the phone. For 3 hours and I listened.
Shouldn't have had your hair done. If you'd have had your hair, that sister said he wouldn't have called.
But hold on. What I'm saying is, and in that conversation, we talked about the relationship with his mama, with his daddy, with his baby mama. Like, I'm tired. It's not them not my problem, baby. I like you, but I don't think I like you that much to keep dealing with this. It's been 3 hours. Why is this my fault? Why do I have to make you feel valued? And you didn't have that conversation with your mama who ran off and didn't love your black ass.
Oh my goodness.
But that was my problem. And I gotta fix it. Now I'm gonna go on the other end on the women's side, right? So a lot of
that was the man's side?
Yeah. Because that's where a lot of that stem from. A lot of them issues stem from a lot of black men not having their mother around, how their mother treats them, and how their mother treated the man versus them when they're no longer with their father and they have divorced them. You will see that in a lot of men who mother has left their father. You will see that same combination. But when it comes on the women's side, women, Mr. Davis don't laugh. Now, women on the other end, this strong mentality, I gotta be strong, I gotta be all these different things. A lot of that stems from an attitude and the talk back of being around an ignorant mother. Right? Someone who didn't teach them how to be a wife and teach them how to be a girlfriend. And even if the mother was married or had a husband or whatever, that mother seemed to be more controlling, more abrupt, more disrespectful, calling the man a B out of his name. Like a lot of women come from that background. So I can understand how a man who is looking for a helpmate could meet some said woman like this, and they come together and it becomes disrespect, toxic, and now there's a child born as a single mama, and there's a bitter chick and a mad baby daddy. I can see how all these narratives come to play because the parents are who raise us, right? And then we keep going down this cycle of ignorance and not being educated, not being knowledgeable, and how to change and how to move forward. So that affects both of us. Both of y'all are right. Everybody is right here. It just depends on your perspective.
There you go, Jazz. She changed y'all oil.
Hell no.
Mr. Davis, you only got 650. You can't even talk. You ain't even got bus fare.
You right. 650. You absolutely correct. But at the end, you're absolutely correct. A lot of it is learned behavior. But the most important thing is, here we go. When you talk about where does this behavior come from? When you talk about people like in my generation of growing up, after a certain age, I wasn't going to talk to my mother about stuff because my mother couldn't help me with those things because I was a man. The problem that you have now is that you got guys running to women or mamas to help them with problems that women can't help them with. That is the biggest problem. That is why they need the validation, because they go to a very important part about validation or want to be acknowledged for the things that they do. You got to learn how to recognize it. Because fucking, cooking, cleaning, washing clothes, those are ways to recognize that you're being taken care of, bro. Every now and then a woman ain't got to tell you thank you if you got some clean drawers or socks in the drawer.
Mr. Davis, you said exactly what I've been trying to say. Like I say, some kids don't even need the big explain.
I give you that right there.
Mr. Davis. There you go.
So that's all I say. So when you find it within yourself, though, you got to learn how to recognize when somebody is being good to you opposed to the rest of the world. Like Monique say, shit, no.
Go.
But if you can't recognize the signs, then shit. We walking around blind anyway. Thank you, Jazz, for a wonderful evening. Most importantly, your hair looks fabulous. That's the last time I will say that.
Let me get the music.
I won't say
Monique, thank you, baby, because I got it tonight. I learned my lesson tonight.
I told you back on my team once you hit Tim with that, because that it took me a minute.
He actually just said what I was trying to say.
No, Tim, but it took me a minute because y'all got me.
I'm glad he said it at the end.
And I'm normally not the one that gets heated, but y'all kind of got me a little heated. I couldn't articulate it.
You keep saying that shit, but this 2 weeks in a row now. You on the road with this getting heated.
Mr. Davis, because I can't take no more He-Man bashing. Okay, I can't take it. I know y'all hate women, not y'all. But I will say
no. First of all, I understand, because Monique, listening to you, you are a wonderful woman. Your heart is pure. But let's keep one thing real, and I'm gonna give you this for the end of the night. Nice guys finish last in this world. We live in a cruel world. It's a cruel world we live in. And it's only the strong go survive. And the sad part about relationships right now is that it's hard to trust anybody. It's like a bum on the street. You don't know which one really need the help or which one really hustling you. So when it comes to relationships from 40 to 80, they're going to always be complicated because everybody got a motive. And love is the last thing on everybody's mind, brother.
See, so it wasn't no bashing, Monique. He ended up coming. Hold on. He came home with everything I said, which was perfect. He just laid it out there for me. That was very good.
But Mr. Davis, that was my point. That's been like my whole.
I got some shit on my mind. I want to talk about how many hours I can get for this $6. Last nigga got 3 hours. What can I get for this 6?
I'm tired of being the helpful hoe. I'm tired.
Mr. Davis, I do
like, subscribe, share. They done lost their mind. We gotta get off the air.
Wait, hold on, Tim. Mr. Davis, I do want to say this though. The way that you broke it down about validation, that's how I've been feeling when I keep saying I'm tired of hearing women bashing, because at some point you have to realize.
Saying bashing. Quit saying bashing.
Tim, you be bashed. Y'all be bashing. Videos be bashing. Videos be bashing.
Yes, stop bashing. This is breaking it down. That's all.
Breaking it down in a bashful way.
No, he just said what I said.
The way
had no videos about these raggedy baby daddies, these dudes.
Never, Jazz, never. You'll never see about the man who be hustling, the homosexuals. You ain't never got no videos about that, Tim.
What the?
The homosexuals, the ones that pretending like you for a house.
She trying to find you some topics that's gonna get us canceled.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Where she going? Where is she going?
Now, the women get y'all views, but the men, y'all don't like accountability. But Mr. Davis, I appreciate you for saying what you said about validation, Mr. Davis.
So let me ask you this,
Monique. What you don't understand. I can tell you I love you 100 and a million times a year, an amazing man, and be sleeping with Tom the plumber.
Well, see, that's why, because love is an action, not a word.
So, but a lot of these men today want the word and think that the word is the same as the action.
That's why, because they don't know
you
what they
can
do.
be with somebody and give them all of your time, all of your attention, help them out, get them try to write words of affirmation, give them words of affirmation, all of it.
He's showing action. See,
you feel me? You can do all of that. But that man, that's still not good enough because he doesn't feel validated. So, Mr. Davis, I thank you.
Well, hold on.
We know where it's going.
Hold on. You doing all this thinking, and I had to drive the man's brain there.
No,
you're gonna give him all this validation. Thanks, Monique. But I had to drive it home and even hold on, Monique. Wait a minute, and even impose the question.
He drove me.
And then you say, "Hey, Mr. Davis, your brain was working at 100%. Tim's was only at 10, and I'm the one did all this." Okay,
Mr. Davis, I like you on this podcast because see, you give real raw to the black men. See,
I like the way you phrased it, Monique. I like the way you.
But wait a minute. So what you trying to say about JT then?
Wait.
JT be crashing out. I love you, brother.
I love you, JT. JT was crashing out. We can't do him.
I love you with all my heart.
Tim and Smoke like to sugarcoat the other side of it and put all the pressure on the women. Mr. Davis, I thank you for being a balance of power on this podcast.
Mr. Davis, what they saying to you is they say that you is a sucker. That's what they say. That's why Jazz laughing.
Mr. Davis, you ain't no sucker. You ain't gave me them $6 yet. So you ain't no sucker, Mr. Davis, because you ain't cashed out me the $7. The place to be. When the topic is too controversial, you'll see.
You on the chat. You on the chat.
Both subjects. You see, we agree to disagree. Maybe y'all can come on. Hit me up. Email me. Steve Thompson 178064. I can bring you on here and debate with Monique. She ain't gonna budge from what she believes, y'all. She can stuff on stuff. She ain't coming on. So y'all can see that she like super. She like the human super glue. So once she got her mind on something, she got it there. So come on and give her a debate. I'll see y'all next week.
I'm gonna need them homosexual videos, Tim.
Be crazy, y'all.